Well, good morning, Trucker Todd here, and time for another video. Alright, this is one that you guys have been asking me for a while. You guys are wanting an update about the Volvo. You guys are wanting an update about where I'm going, what I'm doing. And in this video, I'm going to try to do that for you guys. Also in this video, we're going to kill a lot of birds with one stone. When the mess happened with Dart Transit, some of you suggested that I take a look at Swift Transportation, which also happens to be the very first company I ever drove for. So in this video, I'm going to talk about Swift Transportation then and how they are now. I've been in contact with some of their people, and so I'll tell you about them as well. It's important to remind everybody I'm still at Dart Transit and still pretty happy here, but as I said, with what happened, I'm just weighing my options and looking around. And also in this video, I'm going to give more information on a couple of my top 5 options. And so stay with me. We'll get through this quickly, and I'll try to answer as many of your questions as I can at this point. All right, here we go. Hey, Trucker Todd here, and today's video is sponsored by the fine folks at Mudflap. If you're not familiar with the Mudflap app, they offer you ways to save money on fuel. And if you click the link in my description below, you'll receive $10 off the first time you use their app to fill up if you do it within the first 5 days. So why not give them a shot? You could save 20, 30, even 50 cents or more per gallon on diesel. And you don't have to be a truck driver to use it. If you use diesel, you can use this app. So look down in the description below for the link to receive that savings for being a viewer of this channel. Alright, let's jump right into the regularly scheduled video.
And this is why I do this, why I'm out here, why I keep that hammer down. Flying by these road signs with home on my mind, with these wheels turning round. For my family and for my kids, for this life I wanna live. And this is why I do this.
Alrighty, and we're back. Before we go any further, make sure and give me a thumbs up. Share this video on your social media platforms. Speaking of social media platforms, if you'll look down in the description, there's a lot of great information, including my Instagram, my Facebook, and my email. If you're interested in knowing more about going to work at Dart Transit, please leave me an email, and I'll get you set up with a good recruiter that can get you through the process quickly and efficiently. If you've already made your mind up to contact them, make sure and give them my driver number, 58180. That really helps me out, and I appreciate it. All right, so in December 3rd of 1996, I started at Swift Transportation. I worked for them for 4.5 years, left them in April of 2001. And this is going to surprise you. It's going to surprise me to a degree, some of the things I'm going to say in this video. I did over the road for them for about a year. Then I got a dedicated run where I went from Colorado City, Texas to right outside of Van Horn. It's not even a real town. It was an exit called Alamo. And what I would do is each morning I'd hop in a day cab and drive a truck and trailer over there that had been brought to me from Dallas. I would hop out of that truck, hop in another one, go back home to Colorado City, Texas. So I was home every day. I started with them working 4 days on, 2 days off, and then later I got switched to 6 days on and 2 days off. It's my option to do that because it paid a little better. It was a salary because I worked the same thing every week. If I worked an extra day, obviously I made more. If I worked or took an extra day off or something, I made less, as you would expect. It was really easy and I got spoiled. It was the first trucking job I had ever had, and after 4.5 years, a couple of things was going on. I was having some marital problems at the time, and I knew that was coming to an end, and it eventually did a couple of years later. But also Swift was starting a lease purchase program, and I started becoming very interested in that. It's funny because when I mentioned that, the fleet manager I had at the time contacted me. He said, Todd, why would you want to do that? You're home every day now, and you'll actually make less than what you're making now being home every day. It was a new program. They had a lot of bugs to get out of it. I do believe, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I believe when the program first came out, they were wanting like $10,000 down or something like that, and you couldn't take the truck to other companies. And so I was a little apprehensive about that, and I ended up not doing it. In the next video, we're going to talk about what I did do when I left. But you guys know from recent videos that I said if I did another lease somewhere else, I would want one that I could move the truck to another company if things started not working out. Also, I would want a load board that I could pick my own loads from. Those are a couple of hints of companies I would consider if I was leaving Dart. I would want percentage pay. I'd want to be able to pick my own loads, and I would want a truck that I can move to other companies. That's 3 pretty big hints right there. I've got more coming in this video, so y'all stay with me. Okay, after I left Swift, they went really, and I guess they've always been pretty hard into the training program. For the most part, from what I've been able to find out, a lot of guys are really big about how great the training program is at Swift. I don't know, you always see these videos on YouTube, and it's always a Swift truck that's done something silly. And of course you could say that's because it's a large company, and the larger you are, the more opportunity there is for things like this to happen. I went ahead and looked up their safer score, and I was shocked. It's actually really good. They are way below the national average. And so a lot of things have been going on over at Swift. For a long time after I left, I would have considered them a bottom of the barrel company. I would have considered them a training company where you get your year there and then you go on to better jobs. Kind of like a training wheel on bicycles. But since then, after talking to them and doing some research on them, here's what I've found out. They are really targeting experienced drivers right now, and they've made a lot of changes. They've done something like 4 pay raises in the past year. They've just implemented a load board that they're still putting it together. They've got some guys on it and testing it, and they are also, right now they are on a sliding pay scale by mileage, and they claim within the next few months that there'll be a percentage option too. Therein lies the problem with them. It's a couple of things. For one, the problem is that when you let me think how to say this. When you don't know what the percentage is going to be, you don't really know what you're getting yourself into. Their sliding pay scale is not horrible, but I wouldn't call it great either. I would be curious what the percentage is. As you know, Landstar and some of them pay around 65%. So if Swift is somewhere in the 65 to 75% range, I think they would be a great option, especially because a company that size, you're going to be able to do a lot of drop and hook, and you're going to have a lot of freight options. So that's the deal about them. I think maybe in the next 6 months they might be a place that everyone would want to consider looking at. They've got a program they started about a year ago called the MRP lease. It's the Maintenance Repair Plan Lease is what it stands for. And basically, they've given me some conflicting information, and I don't think it's because they're being dishonest. I think it's because changes are happening so fast that they are trying to get caught up. So originally they told me that the trucks would be 2017, 2018 Freightliners, but some of their ads showed newer trucks. And so I was like, man, I don't want a Freightliner that old. It'll be a rattle trap. And originally they said it was a 7 cent a mile maintenance plan, and that then later I found out it's 7 cents on one, and then it's 5 cents on another. The 7 cents goes into account for major repairs, and if you have a major repair, they cover 80% of it, and that 7 cents covers 20%. The other 5 cents goes into a maintenance account until you get to $3,000, and then it stops while you're holding a $3,000 balance. And it's for, let's call them minor repairs, and they consider a minor repair tires or something like that. And so if you did a truck like that, I would think this would be a good option, because a truck that's a 2017 or 18 that could have potentially had students driving it could have some maintenance issues, and if you knew you were only going to be on the hook for 20% of it, that might be the way to go. So you know, if you'd have told me a month ago you're going to do a video about Swift Transportation, I would have thought, oh, that's going to be a negative video. But as I've talked to them, as I've talked to some of their drivers, I've been pleasantly surprised at what I thought about them. And so they are a company that I would definitely consider if I did choose to leave Dart. Here's another big announcement in this video. Right now, the front runner is Dart Transit to stay here. I've got that Volvo on order, as you know. I can get the deposit back if I decide I don't want it. The plan is at this point to get the Volvo and bring it here. There's also an option to just stay in the truck I am in. This truck I'm really happy with, so that is also an option. But I would have to say, based on what I've found out about Swift Transportation, they are definitely in my top 5, maybe in my top 2 or 3, because the more research I did on them, the more I found they're really listening to drivers. They're really trying to make changes. But as I said, with them not knowing what the percentage is going to be, that's what really holds things up. They, when they saw I wasn't really excited about a 2017 or 2018 Freightliner, they even started trying to offer me different trucking options. So at this point, I wouldn't be ready to make the jump over there. But who knows, in a few months, when they get their details together a little more. Also, on the Volvo, a lot of guys been asking, when's it coming? As you know, in the automotive industry, in the cell phone industry, anything with electronics, there's a chip shortage right now, and that's also affecting trucking. The Volvo, I'm told at this point, they're hoping comes sometime in July, but it could potentially be August, depending on the chips. Nobody really knows. As I get tongue-tied. As I get more information, I'll share it with you guys. I know I'm getting a lot of emails and comments, and people asking me. I'm even getting comments on other people's videos. So I'll watch other people's videos, leave a comment, and somebody will be like, hey, Trucker Todd, when are you putting out a video about the Volvo? Or, hey, Trucker Todd, when are you putting out a video about you and Dart? So I wanted to try to answer some of those questions for you today. But I'm fixing to hop off of here. I just woke up to shoot this video real quick. I drove all night, and I've got to go to Virginia and then Ohio, and we'll see on Wednesday. I'm going to talk about the second place I ever drove a truck for, and it was actually the first lease purchase I ever did. So that'll be coming out on Wednesday. We'll see you then. Y'all have a great day. Hope everybody had a super Father's Day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.